It's Saturday, June 19th, 2021. I'm making a video today on this 118-degree day out here in Palm Desert, 124 degrees yesterday. It's absolutely insane, the heat that we're seeing out here in the West Coast. But as I sat here today, I was reading some articles. I want to share some of these articles with all of you. I want to get your thoughts on it. Feel free to comment down below. But I was reading this article by Michael Snyder, and I think Michael Snyder is a bright, brilliant gentleman, and he is telling it the way it is. You can go to his website, The Economic Collapse. He always has really, really incredible articles up there, and this guy is going to wake you up. This guy, again, telling you the way it is, but he had a article titled 9 Signs That Some of America's Long-Term Trends are starting to become very serious short-term problems. And I'm going to go through this list. And again, it's another reminder, more reinforcement to you and to myself of why we need to be critically thinking for ourselves, why we need to be more self-reliant, why we need to be getting out of the system, because all this is collapsing. Number one on the list is debt. Debt is exploding. U.S. national debt exceeds $28 trillion. No one talks about this. And what's that? It's corporate debt. We hear about the national debt, but we don't really ever hear about corporate debt. Corporate debt now is a whopping $11.2 trillion. This is almost half of the size of the U.S. economy. Second on the list, Washington Prime Group, one of the largest mall owners, just filed for Chapter 11 this past Sunday. And we're going to continue, ladies and gentlemen, to see more mall closures. We're going to see more empty office buildings. We're going to see more empty and vacant retailers and restaurants. This is not going away. It's going to continue to surge. Here's another one. The average vehicle on the road is now 12.1 years old. People are hanging onto their vehicles longer. We shall see we're going to see more people putting off these large or these big ticket items. Watch for the standard of living in the U.S. to continue to decline. We've been watching this now for years. I mean, let's just go back to 2019. I've said this 100 times. People back in 2019 were living paycheck to paycheck. 42% of Americans in 2019, during the good times, the so-called good times, didn't even have $400 saved up. Number 4, homeless crisis exploding. We are seeing tent cities everywhere. And as I head to my bug out in Texas this coming July, I will be filming this crisis in Texas also. You know, a lot of people say it's only in California. I'll be in Texas, and I'm going to show you 10 cities in Texas. I'm going to show you the homeless crisis in Texas, a state that's been flourishing, a state that's been doing much better than many of the states, yet it's got a homeless crisis, and we're going to check that out. So again, when you're driving down the road, you see the tents, you see the homeless people, you see the cardboard boxes, you see people living in these dilapidated RVs, you see people living and sleeping under their cars, vans. I mean, this is a common occurrence now. And my heart goes out to these people. These people have children. They have pets. You know, we've got to think about not being so selfish, ladies and gentlemen, and judgmental. You know, it's always, oh, these people deserve what they got. They made their bed. They need to lie in it. They're on drugs. You know, we're going to see millions of people join this group, because millions of people who don't have a family to fall back on, who've lost a job, who are going to be evicted, are going to be one of these statistics. People you may know. You may have family member or family members coming to you for help because they have nowhere to go. This is going to be a crisis that we're going to witness here in the United States of America very, very soon. We've been watching this homeless crisis just every year getting worse, worse, and worse. And now with this eviction crisis and this moratorium coming to an end at some point, we're going to see a large number of people join the homeless sector. or be a victim or a statistic of homelessness. Crime also made the list. I went to Venice Beach a couple weeks ago. Most of you, I'm sure, checked that video out. If you haven't, go to my past video in Venice Beach. And when you look at Venice Beach, and it's just an example of one city here in California, and this is not just a California problem, it's happening all over the country, but homeless-related robberies are up 260%. Homeless-related assaults with a weapon up 118%. Property crimes and burglaries up 85%. Grand theft auto up 74%. Felony arrests up 68%. Misdemeanor arrests up 355%. So the people out there that, go, well, those people, they're homeless, they made that choice, that's their problem. No, it's going to be everybody's problem, because this crime is surging and it's affecting law-abiding citizens. It's affecting just innocent people walking down the street or at the beach. This crime is exploding, and it's not going to just stay in these areas. It's coming to your neighborhood too. But just because somebody's homeless doesn't mean that that's not going to affect you. I mean, we look at the disease, typhus, the rat epidemic, the crime. All this is affecting the average American, yet they don't want to talk about this problem because they're not homeless. It doesn't affect them, but it's affecting all of us. And we're all paying a price for this. Police retirements, another one that hit the list, has risen 45% in the past year. Here's another one. Cities are filthy. Rat infestations, infrastructure crumbling, bed bug infestation. Chicago, now the rat capital of the country. Orkin ranked Chicago the rattiest city in America. And this is really tragic, because I grew up in Chicago, a sports city, a city of museums and galleries and incredible shopping, incredible restaurants, and incredible people. At least that's how I remembered it before I left in the late 80s. But it's so sad to see cities like Chicago crumbling, and it's not just Chicago. It's all over America, and they're going to continue to decay. We're going to see more epidemics, more homelessness, more rat epidemics, bed bug infestations, food shortages, infrastructure crumbling. It's going to continue to get worse, ladies and gentlemen. Tell me how it's going to get better. Here's another one that hit the list. Drought. 88% of the West is officially in a state of drought. This includes California, Oregon, Utah, and Nevada. This is major trouble for farming and food production, because California, the north end of California, produces so much agriculture, so much food comes. People don't really realize how much food comes from California. And 118 degrees here today, 124 yesterday. Monday, it was 121. And so we are going to see problems with our food production. And I believe that this is going to increase the problems that we're seeing with people having a food shortage, who are food insecure. And this is going to increase the problem. So again, we have food insecurities here in America, where millions of Americans aren't getting enough food. Food prices soaring because of inflation, and they're going to go up even more now because of this major drought. Article on The Hedge I want to share with you, switching gears. But again, check out Michael Snyder's website. Great guy, very informative, brilliant. The Hedge, Colorado home dubbed Slice of Hell, is selling for $590,000. Anyone telling you that institutional money is not inflating this bubble in housing is either lying to you, or they're living under a rock, or they're just in full-blown denial. As I read this article, I go back and I think about the millions of evictions that are coming, because this home dubbed Slice of Hell, this home selling for almost $600,000, this home has been just destroyed, okay, because of an eviction that took place there. But the listing description says this: if you dream of owning your own little slice of hell and turning it into a slice of heaven, look no further. The listing warns prospective buyers to wear your mask before entering the home. That's because the home is so disgusting inside. According to the Denver Post, the price tag to fix the damages ranges between $150,000 to $230,000. A perfect opportunity for you. It's a perfect fixer-upper. They just really know how to sell this stuff, don't they? Let's talk about what happened to this house. You open the doors, you walk in. They spray painted the floors, the walls, the doors, the cabinets, the carpet, you name it. Hammer holes throughout the house, through all the drywall. On one of the doors, somebody spray painted, "Evict me now." That's what they spray painted on the door. This was a very angry tenant who obviously didn't pay his or her rent, was evicted, and now they're very, very angry. So that takes me back to the millions of evictions that are coming to America. Imagine the damage that is going to take place to these homes, to these properties. These landlords, I feel bad. You know, these landlords who took the risk, put up the money, put up with the headaches, got to pay the taxes, got to repair the property, got to maintain the property, and they got bills to pay. They have mortgages on those properties. They live in a home. They have a mortgage. They have expenses and bills. This is their job, and now they don't get paid. And in return, once they evict the tenant who hasn't paid them in a year, they destroy the house. I mean, this is just unbelievable. You can bet once these evictions start taking place, you're going to see a lot of these properties go onto the market, up for sale. You're going to see a lot of inventory coming back, ladies and gentlemen, because people are going to get out of the landlord business. These properties are going to go up for sale. We're going to see a flood of inventory coming onto the housing market without a doubt. Here's another one on the hedge. A lifetime in debt. Older Americans are facing a student loan crisis. This is another hidden crisis that nobody wants to talk about. Student loan moratorium set to end this summer. And wow, it's going to be very, very explosive when it does, because there's a lot of people that owe a lot of money. What are we looking at? $1.7 trillion in student loan debt. 8.7 million Americans over the age of 50 are still paying off college loans. And the debt has increased by half since 2017. 40 million Americans have student loan debt. Many of these older people took out loans either for themselves, many took it out for their children. And so the interest on that loan is eating them alive. And as these people get older, you know, as you get older, you make less money, but their debts are getting bigger. As many people get older, their income shrinks, and the amount of these loans just continues to grow. In the article, they were speaking about this individual, Alma Topet, who is 60 years old. She borrowed $30,000 for one of her children to go to college. Now she owes $70,000 today. In the article, it breaks down the debt by age. This is fascinating. I don't know how people are ever going to get out from being a debt slave. 24 years and younger. With this is the average college tuition debt owed. 24 years or younger, $15.2 thousand. If you're 25 to 34, you owe $33.6 thousand. 35 to 49 years old, you owe $42.9 thousand. 50 years to 61 years old, $43.4 thousand. And if you're 62 and older, you owe $38.6 thousand. Wow. I mean, I couldn't imagine owing this kind of money. Incredible. And at this point, it doesn't look like it's going to be forgiven. The interest keeps accumulating, and the debt keeps getting bigger and bigger. And guess what? At the same time now, we're seeing inflation, where the price of everything is going up. The bills aren't going away. They're going to be paid. And you cannot file bankruptcy and get away from this. This is not going to go away. And when you look at the $1.7 trillion of college tuition debt, and it's getting bigger, it's just snowballing. Well, I mean, I read these things, ladies and gentlemen, and I share these things with you because, first off, the best thing to do is do not get in debt to begin with, all right? Do not get yourself into debt. And so probably half or more of these degrees that these people paid, $80,000, $100,000 for, they're worthless. These people, these kids are never going to get a well-paying job with their $80,000 and $100,000 degrees. Not going to happen. Yes, there are things that do require, if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer or an architect, things like that. Yeah, but so many people getting degrees, worthless degrees, for jobs that are never going to pay them more than $24,000 a year. And this interest is never going to go away. And the bill collectors are never going to go away. So, don't get yourself into debt. That's one of the best things. If you don't want to be a drug addict, the best thing you can do is never, ever begin. Never, ever begin using drugs, and you'll never become a drug addict. You don't want to be a debt slave. Never get yourself into debt. Never start using debt. Never start running up those credit cards. Avoid debt at all costs. Avoid drugs at all costs. So just never begin it. They're both dirty habits, right? Being a debt slave and having lots of debt, it's dirty. It's a dirty habit. Being addicted to drugs, a dirty habit. But anyways, as I close this video out today, I just wanted to share this with all of you because I think it's important. Right now, most of you know that we are in an economic collapse. We're watching this economy die slowly. And as we get deeper into the greatest depression that the world has ever seen, you need to really be thinking to yourself what you can be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. And what you shouldn't be doing is acquiring a lot of debt right now. What you should be doing is paying your debt off. Get the debts paid off, get them done, get them out, at least get them manageable. Have a cash reserve put away for an emergency. Have some assets like gold and silver put away. Have some food and water put away. I cannot stress this enough. And I'm going to continue to stress this and continue to repeat this message daily. But I just shared with you a couple articles about what's happening. Look, I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not a prophet. I'm not a mind reader. I can't, tell you the future. But what I can do is connect the dots. I can tell you right now, just like most of you can tell what's coming, is when you see the printing of the US dollar, it's going to devalue it. It's going to cause inflation. When you see the water shortage and you see the droughts that are taking place now here in America, that means we're going to produce less food. That when you have a food shortage and you have inflation, that means prices of food are going to go up and the shortages of food are going to go up. And so, just connect the dots. I mean, you don't need a degree from Harvard in business or Wharton to see what's coming. Inflation is coming. It's not transitory. It's going to be here for quite a while. And yes, there is a possibility, a very good possibility now, that we possibly could see interest rates creep up a little bit next year. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but there's a possibility that could happen. And what do you think that means for these markets? What do you think that that's going to do to the stock market? What do you think that this is going to do to the housing market? What do you think this is going to do to the credit market? What do you think is going to happen? Please comment down below. Are things going to get better by the end of this year, or are they going to get worse? My humble opinion, they're going to get much worse. But yet the television is already talking about the toy shortage, and we should be worried about the toy shortage. Isn't that terrible? Oh my goodness, what are we going to do this Christmas? We got a toy shortage. I'm more worried about a water shortage. I'm more worried about a food shortage. I'm more worried about reality. I live in the real world. These people live in La La Land. These people on the television are not being straight with you. They're not warning you with what's coming, and they should be ashamed of themselves. People that have a following, people who are on the television, they have no remorse for what they're doing. They're just trying to sucker more Americans into getting deeper into debt. Go out, buy a house, go buy a car, go take a vacation, run the credit cards up, go out to dinner, just go spend. They need you to spend, just like the Ponzi schemes need you to continue to keep buying into the crypto world so that they keep going up. Be very, very cautious, ladies and gentlemen, what the television tells you. I watch these business shows every morning, and it literally is a party. These people just tell you how great everything is. The economy is booming. There's so many jobs, it'll make your head spin. But what they don't tell you is these are $10 and $12 an hour jobs. They're not telling you the truth about the economy. How many thousands of businesses have permanently shuttered, decimated? I saw another bank out of business yesterday. I saw another diner out of business yesterday. I saw another retailer out of business yesterday. They're not coming back. They're not coming back. And we all know very well that once the stimulus ends, once all the benefits stop, once the unemployment runs out, people are going to be in very, very big trouble. Make sure you're not one of those people. Be careful, be cautious, be aware of what's going on. If you have some money right now, you need to be protecting it. You need to be putting it in the right places. You don't need to be wasting it. You don't need to be burning it up on a weekend trip in Vegas. That's for later. That's for later. Right now, the smart money needs to be patient. The smart money needs to be stockpiling cash, gold, silver, and paying off the debt. God bless all of you. Thanks for watching. Share this video. Talk to all of you soon.